What's up, guys? I thought I would take a minute to just quickly talk about formulas in Google Sheets. This is something you're going to want to do from time to time whenever it's necessary to calculate things using the spreadsheet. Remember, if it's something that is to be calculated by hand, you wouldn't do this. But for this example, since we're talking about density, I have a bunch of values of volumes and masses. And I want to calculate all of the densities for these values so that I can then average them and then do the standard deviation. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do that, okay? We're going to use formulas. The first thing you have to know is every formula begins with an equal sign, okay? And then if you are doing simple mathematics, arithmetic, then you can use symbols like plus or minus. The star, the asterisk, which I believe is over number 8 on the keyboard, is for multiplication, and then the slash is for division. Okay. The one thing I'll point out about this is that Google Sheets doesn't do significant digits, but you can change the number of decimal places in your answers in a column or within a cell pretty easily, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So if you look at the data that we have here, we've got a bunch of masses and volumes. I want to calculate the density for every one of these. Okay, so I'm going to click in the first cell and I'm going to type an equal sign, and now it knows that I want to do a formula. Now I know that density is mass divided by volume, so I'm going to click in mass. I'm going to click in that cell to select that value, then I'm going to hit the slash, forward slash, and then I'm going to click in volume, and I'm going to hit enter, and you'll notice it calculates it and it asks me if I want to autofill the column, which in this case I absolutely do. I don't always do that, but I do want to do that. So I'll click the check. And now it has calculated all of the densities for me. As it happens, 4 significant figures divided by 2 should be 2 significant figures, which these already have. But if I wanted to change that, I could select the numbers, and then there's 2 buttons up here. There's a button that has a left-facing arrow with 0.0, and then there's one that's a right-facing arrow with 0.00. The one with 1 0 decreases the number of decimal places, and the one with 2 zeros increases the number of decimal places. And you can do that as much as you need to. You can do it cell by cell or column by column. So again, I'm going to go back to 2 significant figures. Okay? So that's everybody's density in this particular class set of data. Now, for the average density, it's even easier. Okay? I start with equal sign because I want to do a formula, and you'll notice it's already suggesting average. So I'm going to type the word average in caps. I'm going to open parentheses and I'm going to select these numbers and close parentheses, and that's the average density, 6.6 grams per milliliter. Pretty easy. That's the average. Okay? I can change the sig figs in that if I need to, but I shouldn't really need to. Standard deviation is very similar to that. Equals, and then you're going to type STDEV, standard deviation, STDEV, open parentheses, and select the same group of numbers. Close parentheses, hit enter, there's my significant, or my standard deviation, okay? And then I'd have to do the standard deviation divided by the average by hand and then see if it's, as a percentage, if it's less than 10%. But that's how you use formulas. Specifically, the average and standard deviation formulas you're going to use all the time, all the time. The other ones will change depending on what calculations you're doing. And as we get into more complicated labs, I'll show you other ways of doing. Sometimes you can do formulas in steps, and sometimes you can do formulas in one go. It kind of depends on how comfortable you are with this sort of thing. Okay? So make sure you jot down the important information here, and you'll be using this very soon in class. See you next time.